First news is Liverpool v Tottenham Hotspur, team news. Second news is Dominic Szoboszlai interview, Liverpool v Tottenham responding and Anfield return. Third news is Liverpool legend spots Arne Slot's biggest problem as blunt Mohamed Salah point made. Welcome back to the LFC Transfer Hub, your number one source for everything breaking at Anfield. Arne Slot is hopeful Alisson Becker will be available when Liverpool host Tottenham Hotspur on Sunday. What has been described as a minor injury ruled the Brazilian goalkeeper out of the Reds' Champions League defeat at Galatasaray in midweek. During a press conference on Friday morning before the team trained, Slot was quizzed on the possibility of Alisson being involved against Spurs. "I'm hopeful, but that's not to say I'm 100% sure," said Slot. He later added, "Alisson felt something when he passed the ball in one of his muscles on Monday, but after we checked it, it was so minor that we think it doesn't have to take very long." But as always, games follow up so fast that he had to miss the one against Galatasaray, and hopefully he's available and ready for Sunday. If not, I'm expecting him, if things go as planned, definitely against Galatasaray. Georgi Mamardashvili was Alisson's replacement in goal in Istanbul and made his 12th appearance since arriving from Valencia. Federico Chiesa should return for the Tottenham meeting at Anfield after not making the trip to Turkey due to illness. "I expect he feels better now because he felt unwell the day before the game, and I think we're now 3 or 4 further ahead," Slot reported. There is no change on the status of long-term absentees Stefan Bajcetic, Connor Bradley, Wataru Endo, Alexander Isak and Giovanni Leoni. Rio Ngumoha started the Emirates FA Cup victory at Wolverhampton Wanderers last week, but was then an unused substitute versus Galatasaray. Asked about the balancing act of managing the 17-year-old's minutes, Slot replied, "It's not that we think so far ahead what it would mean for the rest of his career, but this season we've treated him carefully. I think I've said something about that before, that he cannot be too many days in a row on the pitch because of stress fractures players of these ages sometimes have and have had here in this club. Jadon Danns is one of the examples of that. But Rio is a player that could start for us. I think I've said a month ago that he would get more playing time, and I think we've all seen that, coming in for a longer spell of times starting against Wolves. And he's definitely an option to start in one of the upcoming 3 games. Tottenham will arrive on Merseyside without central defenders Mickey van de Ven and Christian Romero. Van de Ven is suspended as a result of the red card he received in their defeat by Crystal Palace. Romero, meanwhile, has served his 4-match league suspension but is ruled out of this game following a clash of heads with teammate João Palhinha late in Tuesday's Champions League tie at Atletico Madrid. Yves Bissouma is another player who has been added to Spurs' lengthy injury list, which also includes Rodrigo Bentancur, Lucas Bergvall, Ben Davies, Mohamed Kudus, Dejan Kulusevski, James Maddison, Wilson Odobert and Destiny Udogie. Their head coach Igor Tudor told reporters, "They Romero and Palhinha are out, Mickey is also out, Bissouma is out with a muscle problem, Conor Gallagher has some fever but he will probably be in. So we have again a lot of problems to make a first zai. Destiny is almost back." Goalkeeper Guglielmo Vicario is set to return to Tottenham's lineup after Antonin Kinski started their 5-2 loss in Madrid. "He's good, he'll be in the goal," Tudor said of Vicario. Second news is Dominic Szoboszlai interview, Liverpool v Tottenham responding and Anfield return. Dominic Szoboszlai wants Liverpool to show a true representation of themselves when they take on Tottenham Hotspur. The Reds are back in Premier League action on Sunday afternoon for Spurs' visit to Anfield. It allows Szoboszlai and his teammates a swift opportunity to return to winning ways after the midweek defeat at Galatasaray in the Champions League. "I was pretty angry after the game because of the result, but not only about that," the No. 8 told Liverpool.com, "because I feel that we didn't play in a way like we should and we can. Because we showed it so many times that we are able to win against any team actually or compete against any team in the league or in European football." We have to really focus on the upcoming games because now it's Tottenham on Sunday and next week on Wednesday is going to be a big game. I can't wait for it. Tottenham arrive on Merseyside searching for vital points in their objective to maintain their top-flight status. But Liverpool also have their own ambitions between now and the end of the league campaign, as they look to ensure Champions League football will be played at L4 next season. Szoboszlai continued, "To be honest, I'm not thinking about them, I'm thinking about us because also we have some things to fight for. We want to play next year in the Champions League, so there is a spot to go for. But first of all, we have to focus on ourselves and do the right stuff, do the right things, and then everything is going to be all right." Liverpool are back at Anfield following 3 consecutive matches on the road. Being encouraged by nearly 60,000 Reds is an advantage Arne Slot's men are keen to make the most of. "It's a huge difference, we need them on Sunday for sure," Szoboszlai said. "Everybody who is able to come should come. I think that's never a problem, but also we need them as loud as they can be, especially next week on Wednesday. We felt in Istanbul how it is to play in such a loud stadium with such great fans, but I think we can show the same at home. We're going to need each of them." Third news is Liverpool legend spots Arne Slot's biggest problem, as blunt Mohamed Salah point made. Liverpool legend Steve Nicol says it is the right time to take Mohamed Salah out of the Reds' starting side because of a lack of recent impact from the Egyptian. However, he also believes the lack of an alternative to Liverpool's number 11 is a major issue for Arne Slot, with a lack of quality in wide areas seemingly something that needs to be addressed when the season ends and the summer transfer window opens. "I think since he's gotten back in the side, Salah has reached the stage where he has to take a seat again," Nicol said on ESPN FC ahead of Liverpool taking on Tottenham in the Premier League this weekend. "Slot doesn't have a lot of options. Who does he play? Jeremy Frimpong, never been fit, so it's not straightforward that he can just go straight in there. So now you're talking about, do you switch Cody Gakpo and play Rio Ngumoha on the left, or do you just play Ngumoha over there on the right? Slot doesn't really have a straightforward swap. Well, if he's not doing it, I'll play this guy. That's his biggest problem because he doesn't have a real good option. But even saying that, because of what Mo Salah's been producing, I think you take the chance and maybe try Ngumoha or Gakpo over there, or you play Federico Chiesa. I think he's reached the stage now that regardless of who it is or what you do, it's going to be more than what Mo actually giving to the team, because if he's not scoring goals and he's not creating, he's not giving Liverpool anything else. Salah has scored 9 goals this season, but his overall play has diminished substantially from last term. The 33-year-old doesn't have the searing pace to beat his man and create space for him to work in. I believe that a good individual performance comes from a good team performance, Slot said on Friday. I think in the first 15-20 minutes we were at it or on it against Galatasaray. I don't exactly know how you say this. 3 or 4 moments where we should have scored, and then there was a moment that completely changed the momentum of the game, conceding a set piece. Not for the first time in this season, that changed the momentum of the game completely.